clearly. So we'll start with a small kirtan, short kirtan. So you all can also repeat after me. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Giridharidhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Giridharidhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतुषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Thank you very much for attending this Bhagavad Gita class. In Kali Yuga, it's very rare that to find people who are interested in spirituality, and so and that too in youth, and we can see all our youth here. So it's very amazing, very inspiring to see that youth are now being interested. They are becoming interested in spirituality, and so India is transforming. Right? India is changing, and it all starts with youth. If one comes to bhakti or devotional service, spirituality in the youth itself, then his life is saved or her life is saved, right? Because at the end, we don't know if old age will come or not. So that's a question mark. So some people, when we go out for book distribution, so when we meet some old people, so I have seen that actually. So they tell that I remember one person also, he was telling that I'll start at 55 or 60. Then I asked this question to him that, are you sure that the age of 55 will come in your life or not? So then he moved away. So what to do? So because people think like that we'll start, spirituality means old age. But it's a big question mark whether old age will come or not. So youth is a time where we have to start, and we will see that when we start practicing spirituality, because it's about, when we practice spirituality, happiness will come in life. So why to postpone happiness? It's very logical, right? Because spirituality, when we practice it, so automatically all blissfulness, all happiness comes in life. So only a foolish person will postpone happiness, right? Why not to become happy now? Why to postpone it till old age? So it's very logical. So we should practice spirituality in our youth itself, or from the childhood itself. So, and scriptures also recommend that from the age of 5 years, so a child or the parent should actually help the children to practice spirituality, or they should engage the children in practicing spirituality. So that's very important, and it's very inspiring when I'm seeing youth in front of me. It gives me also inspiration, a boost to practice spirituality. So, and when we see Srila Prabhupada, we should be grateful to Srila Prabhupada. Because we are sitting here, this setup is there to discuss about Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam scriptures. If Srila Prabhupada would not have been there, so it would not have been possible. Because so many sacrifices Srila Prabhupada did to start this movement and then build ISKCON, where everybody can come and have discuss about Bhagavad Gita and scriptures in general. So at the age of 70, he started. So when people try to retire or think to retire actually in their life and just lie down and enjoy, right? And the organs are also not working properly. at that time Srila Prabhupada went out. And not in India, he went out abroad to some other country, to America. So to think even in that age to go out, even within the country, it's very difficult to travel from one place to another. Within the city also it's very difficult. But he went out to a completely different country, America. And that too, if you try to imagine, right, it's very inconceivable that he knows no one there, right? It's completely a strange country, completely strange, a new country. And then he knows no one, and he doesn't have anything with him, no money, only 40 rupees he had. So can you imagine with just 40 rupees, when some people actually plan to go out, go abroad, so they plan a lot. Okay, this much money I need for the tickets, this much money I will need there to stay, right? So, but he didn't have enough money also to even sustain himself. What to think of continuing for a long time. For a small time, a little bit time also he didn't have that money. So, but because he had that faith on his spiritual master, because his spiritual master instructed him that Srila Prabhupada, that go out and preach in the West, preach the message of Bhagavad Gita, and then so basically to satisfy, to fulfill the desire of his spiritual master and instruction. So he went out at the age of 70, and so much sacrifices. He used to just sleep for two hours, that too from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock at night, and then he used to translate from 12 o'clock to 4 a.m. in the morning. The 4 hours he used to translate Srimad Bhagavatam when we are sleeping, we are in a deep sleep or in our dreams. So like that, those kinds of sacrifices Srila Prabhupada has done. So then the question comes, what are we doing? Right? If we don't have that gratitude Srila Prabhupada, and if we don't practice spirituality, Krishna consciousness, if we don't read the books which Srila Prabhupada has written, over 80 volumes of books Srila Prabhupada has written, as we can see in the gift shop, so many books. We even don't know the names of the books actually. We don't remember the names. So many books are written, and he has translated the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. And one time actually the copies which he translated, those got stolen. And one time so his wife actually stole it to the Radhiwala. So can you imagine so much effort you have put in translating Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and that is gone. Then again you have to start from the scratch. So many sacrifices, so many failures Srila Prabhupada has seen, and then after that success came when he started this movement, and when people actually came. And the first set of people which actually joined Srila Prabhupada were youth. So again it comes to youth. So, and they were hippies. Right? They were not like, we are good families, and we have stable families and stable basically life. But those people were like, they actually left everything, and they were living on the streets. They didn't have anything. Obviously they were searching for something higher in life, but because they didn't have any shelter, they left everything, and they didn't have any shelter, proper shelter. So they took a wrong path, obviously. So then they were engaged in indulgent drugs and illicit sex and all those kinds of abominable activities. So, but their intention was pure, to at least find out something which is beyond whatever we are experiencing now. So at least that intention, that eagerness they had. So then when Srila Prabhupada came at the right time, when hippie culture was at its peak, so that time Srila Prabhupada, when Krishna arranged made the arrangements that Srila Prabhupada will go, and then those people, he will deliver those people first. Because hippies, if they come to Krishna consciousness, then all the other people automatically will come. So that's how Srila Prabhupada started with transforming or delivering the hippies. And they were youth, and giving them shelter. And then we can see so many devotees are now there, and so many disciples of Srila Prabhupada who are from so many decades they are practicing, and they are inspiring so many souls in the whole world. How is it possible? It's only possible because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So we should have that great gratitude whenever we are coming, at least at one time also to the temple and discussing about Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and reading any books. So we should be grateful that this is only because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So with this gratitude, let's start today's verse. So So today we will discuss from chapter 2, verse number 18. Okay, so today's verse is chapter 2, verse number 18. Already we have covered the first chapter, and now we are in the second chapter. So, just to give a background, quick background, it will be a short class. I mean, it will be a very, very short class. So, to give a quick background, or what about the previous verses, right? Then, if we get the background, then we can actually discuss today's verse. So, in the first chapter, we can see that when Arjuna actually requests Krishna to take the chariot in front of or in between the two armies, the Pandavas and the Kauravas, right? So he tells Krishna that please take the chariot in between the two armies, and I want to see who are there in the opposite party with whom we have to fight, right? So then Krishna takes the chariot in between the two armies, Pandavas and the Kauravas. And as soon as, so then Krishna tells that now you can see, who all are there who have gathered here to fight. And when Arjuna actually sees that there are my relatives, my brothers, Kauravas, my teacher, Dronacharya, my grandfather, Bhishma Pitama, and all my relatives are there, my elders are there, right? So he becomes bewildered completely. So out of compassion, he gives 4 reasons to Krishna that why I will not fight, right? So this is the background. So the first reason he gives is these are my relatives, right? My elders are there, my teacher, whom I should worship. How can I kill my teacher? How can I kill my grandfather? He's my elder. And how can I kill my relatives, right? Who are related to my body, my brothers. So it's very, very sinful. So he's having compassion in his heart that they are my relatives, how can I kill them, right? And when I kill them, so also when I kill the opposite party, so much sinful reactions will come, right? And so I have to face those sinful reactions. Then another reason Arjuna gives is that whenever the elders in the society or the males in the society in the family are killed, then if only women are remaining, then there are high chances that the women will be exploited, right? If there are no elders in the family and there are no males in the family, so if the males are killed, then only women are there, so women may be exploited, and then unwanted progeny will come, and that will create havoc in the society. And the whole society will be degraded. So it all starts with killing the opposite party. So he was giving this reason also. Destruction of the whole society and dynasty. Another reason Arjuna gives is, if I kill them and if I get the kingdom, with whom I will share that happiness? That kingdom. There is no one to share with. Then what's the point? Right? Let's say I win. We win the fight. And then we get the kingdom. All the Kauravas are gone and we get the kingdom. Then whom to share that kingdom with? There is no one. So what's the point? I mean, why should I fight? There's no reason to fight. So Arjuna gives broadly these 4 reasons, and then he's completely bewildered and he places down his bow and he tells Krishna, I will not fight. So like this, can you imagine the greatest warrior, Arjuna, is completely bewildered. Who is never shaken by anybody, cannot be shaken by anybody. Now he is shaken, and he is telling that I will not fight. That's a real, great disgrace. And how can a Kshatriya, refuse to fight? And how can he, step back from fight? So, but it was happening with Arjuna. Then Krishna starts with. So basically, he helps Arjuna to raise his consciousness, higher and higher, and then Krishna actually starts at the very beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, at the very beginning, which is a fundamental of spirituality. That's a fundamental. If we don't understand that, then There is nothing to, then we can't understand anything else. Right? We can't move ahead. That's a fundamental. So that's what Krishna starts with in Bhagavad Gita, at the very beginning of the Bhagavad Gita. So what Krishna tells is, he introduces the concept of soul and body, right? So he tells that how body and soul are different. And then he gives so many, in the initial part of the second chapter, he gives so many characteristics of soul and then characteristics of body. So that we can have a clear distinction between soul and the body, right? So basically Krishna brings Arjuna to the platform of soul, right? And he gives Arjuna the vision to see everything or everyone on the platform of soul, not the body. So so basically now Krishna is actually in these verses, in the previous few verses, Krishna is telling about the characteristics of soul and characteristics of the body. In this verse it continues like that. So verse number 18, second chapter. So it goes like this. I think the battery got drained, so I can read and you can hear it. So verse number 18 goes like this. Antavanta imeneha nityasyuktaha sharirinaha anashino prameyasya tasmad yudhyasva bharata. So the translation goes like this. The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharata. So Krishna is telling to Arjuna that the material body of whom? Of the soul. So basically the material body belongs to soul, right? The soul has now taken a material body which is sure to come to an end. So now Krishna is telling about the body. That what is the characteristic of body? That material body will surely come to an end. And we can see around that people are dying. Can you tell me any person who is never, who is not dying and he is staying forever? The body of that person is staying forever. Can you tell me any person? Everybody dies, right? Everybody, we can see that everybody leaves this body, our body. And we can see in our family, in our friends, families, or in general, in the society, that everybody has to leave the body at some point of time or the other. Maybe now or sometime later or after a few months or after a few years, but we have to leave the body. So Krishna is telling about the body. That body, material body is temporary. It has to come to an end. We can't do anything about that. Right? We can't make any material adjustments and make the body eternal and live forever. No, it's not possible. This is the first thing Krishna tells about the body. Now what Krishna tells about the soul, right? So Krishna tells three things about the soul in this verse. First is indestructible. That is the first characteristic of soul, or first quality or fact about the soul. Indestructible. That it can never be destroyed. And we can see in the upcoming verse, one of the upcoming verses, we can see Krishna will tell that we can't make the soul wet, we can't dry up the soul, we can't cut the soul with a sword or knife, right? So basically we can't do anything to the soul, because soul is spiritual. And we can't do any harm to the soul by any material instruments or any material way. And we can't harm the soul. So it is indestructible. It can never be destroyed. Indestructible. Second quality of soul, or second fact about the soul, immeasurable. By microscope. We can't actually see the soul first. That is the first thing. And it's so small that we can't even measure the dimension of the soul. But yet, the scriptures to just give us a little bit idea, because we think in terms of units and then measurements, right? So to give us a little bit idea, the scripture, Srimad Bhagavatam, and so many other scriptures they tell us about the dimension of the soul. So, for example, in Srimad Bhagavatam, so basically, there's a verse called, it goes like this: Balagra, Balagrasya Shata. I'm not remembering that particular verse clearly, but it says that if we take the tip of the hair, take one hair first, and then take a tip, and then that tip of the hair, divide that tip of the hair into 100 parts. Understood? Then take one part out of those 100 parts. Take that one part. Again, divide that one part into 100 such pieces. So then again, take that one part. That is the dimension of soul. Can you imagine? So 1 by 10,000th part is the dimension of the soul, of the tip of the hair, not even the hair, of the tip of the hair. So just to give us an idea, so scriptures actually give us this idea that how small soul is, how tiny the soul is, right? So with the material instruments, and we can't even measure the dimension of the soul. It's so small, first of all, and second thing is it's spiritual. So we can't measure the soul with any material instruments, right? Third quality about the soul Krishna speaks about is eternal. That and one more thing about the indestructible. Srila Prabhupada in the purport, he is giving a very nice point that how the soul is indestructible. So first of all, the soul is very tiny, right? And it's also. So by any kind of arrow, by any kind of sword or anything, we can't destroy the soul, right? It's not possible because it's very, very tiny. We will not be able to destroy the soul. So that's why it is indestructible. That's what Srila Prabhupada explains. And the third quality, indestructible, immeasurable, and third is eternal. Soul is eternal. So now it's in contrast to the material body. Material body is not eternal. So in the 16th verse of Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, Krishna tells that again the same point Krishna tells. He compares the soul and the body. So body is temporary and the soul is eternal. Right? So in this verse also Krishna is telling that. So already about the body Krishna has spoken that it will surely come to an end. But what about the soul? No, it's eternal. Right? So and we can see from Bhagavad Gita we can understand this eternity factor of the soul in so many verses. In 13th chapter, which is too far and yet to come in the series. So in 13th chapter, verse number 33, Krishna gives an analogy that just like the sun illuminates the entire universe with the sunshine, it illuminates the whole universe with the sunshine. Similarly, the soul illuminates the whole body with its symptom. So symptom of the sun is sunshine. Whenever there is sunshine, it means we can understand, oh, sun is there. Similarly, whenever the symptom of the soul is there in the body, it means that soul is there. So we can perceive the presence of soul by the symptom of soul. So what is that symptom of soul? Consciousness. So wherever there is soul, there is consciousness. And wherever the soul is not there, there is no consciousness. So this analogy Krishna gives that just like the sun is illuminating the whole universe with the sunshine, similarly the soul illuminates the entire body with consciousness. That itself is a proof of the existence of soul. Because we can see that it's our experience, right? If it was my experience also that we can see that a person is now live, he's living, and suddenly he leaves the body. Then the same dead body will be lying on the floor. We call it dead body, right? And the organs are there, the mind, the brain is there, the eyes are there, the hands are there, the legs are there, right? The heart is there. But still the person is not able to feel anything, not able to walk, not able to get up, not able to respond anything. Why? 5 minutes back, he was able to feel, he was able to think, he was able to see, he was able to experience. Now he's not able to do anything. Why? What happened after 5 minutes? Or just in a moment, what happened? The soul left the body. And there is no consciousness now. So basically the soul is the one which is maintaining the body, which is sustaining the body. If the soul leaves the body, then we can see that the body, immediately when the person dies, after some time, immediately actually the body starts deteriorating. Right? And the people actually want to cremate the body as soon as possible, otherwise we can see that it will start deteriorating. We have to do the cremation. So the soul is the one which is sustaining the body. And in verse number 13 of chapter 2, previous verse, so Krishna tells that Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumadam yauvanam jara tatha dehantara prapte dhirastatrinamuyate. Means Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumadam yauvanam jara. Just like the body is, we are basically the soul is the same and the body is changing from youthhood, from the child body to youthhood to old age, to old body. But the soul never changes. Same soul is there, but the body is changing and the soul is observing the changes. Understand, right? So it also proves that the body is changing, the soul never changes. The same person is there. I was the same person actually. The soul was same, but my body was different. I had a child body. Right? And then I came to youthhood and I could see that yes, now I'm a youth. Now my body is in the youthhood. And after some time I'll see that my body is now in the old age. It's an old body now. But I could see, right, that yes, some years back I was a youth. Now I'm getting old and old and old. So I'm observing that changes. It means I as a soul I'm not changing, but I'm able to observe the changes of the body. The body is changing and the body will die. And then Krishna tells in the book, it's very simple. Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita that Tatha Dehantara Prapti means when the soul leaves the body, so it gets another body. Dehantara. Deha means body, Antara means changing the body. It changes the body. So soul will leave this body, again goes to the womb of another mother, again gets a new fresh child body. So in this way we can see that bodies are temporary, but the same soul is going from boyhood to youthhood to old age in the same body and then leaving the body, going to another body and then again starting from child, youth, old age. Then again leaving the body, again taking birth and again starting from a new body. So we can see that the soul never dies. It continues from one body to another. So the soul is eternal. Right? So it's very important to understand this. And it happened with me also that when I was in my first year of engineering, my father left the body actually, and I was completely shattered. I was like, what happened? Yesterday night I talked to my father and he was able to speak to me. I was able to speak to him. But the next day, in the afternoon, I got a call that your father got a heart attack and he is no more now. Second call I got. So it was like very bewildering kind of situation that yesterday I talked to him and he was living, he was able to feel, he was able to talk to me, he was able to think. But now what happened? Suddenly, the next day, he is not there. So where is he? Right? This question came to my mind. So then, I met a devotee and then we discussed about Bhagavad Gita. Then he told me that no, soul never dies. Then I came to know my father is there still somewhere. Only the body he is left. Right? Current body. So that I got really pacified on that point. So basically we can say that Bhagavad Gita is the source of, it pacifies the heart, it gives us happiness, it takes us from stress or anxiety, it raises the level of the consciousness, and then it gives us all blissfulness. And it is the source of all inspiration. We can see that there are so many motivational speakers, are trying to motivate people, but after some time that motivation goes away, right? Because that's not permanent. That knowledge which they are giving, that's not permanent. It's temporary knowledge, only applicable in this world. But Bhagavad Gita talks about the permanent knowledge, right? It talks about the permanent. It talks about what is about this world also and beyond. The scriptures talk about this world and beyond. So the scriptures always give us perfect knowledge and permanent knowledge. That's very important. Permanent. That's why the happiness which we get is also permanent. But if we take shelter of the mundane knowledge, which is only existing in this world, then we'll get pleasure, obviously, but if we try to gratify our senses in this world from the, from the objects of senses, we'll get pleasure, obviously, we get pleasure. Like when we eat something, we get pleasure. When we see something beautiful, we get pleasure. But that pleasure goes away after some time, it's temporary. But the happiness or blissfulness which we get from practicing spirituality, reading Bhagavad Gita, reading the scriptures, it's permanent. Right? So that's why scriptures are the source of all happiness, all blissfulness, and all inspiration. We can say that every verse of Bhagavad Gita gives us boost, gives us, inspires us from within. And that we can actually experience when we are really sincerely reading or seriously reading. So that's what Bhagavad Gita is. So we should always read Bhagavad Gita, at least one verse a day. It will really change our life. And there is one more thing which I would like to inform about or make you aware about, that in ISKCON Whitefields channel, YouTube channel is there. On that channel there is a series called Shloka a Day. Means in one day, one shloka of Bhagavad Gita. So we have recorded all the verses of Bhagavad Gita in short videos. So it's a series which is already there, and so we all can go there and then hear one verse a day, right? And then read that particular verse from Bhagavad Gita. So if you read that verse and then hear about that verse, one verse, that's it, nothing, not more than that. It is sufficient to change your life. Right? And those videos may be very short, small videos, because we know that the patience of people these days is reducing. Right? Because we are not able to hear for a long time. 1 hour or 1.5 hours, very difficult. So 5 minutes, 10 minutes, max 10 minutes or max 12 minutes videos are there. 10 to 12 minutes max. Some videos are short also. So it's very important and it will be very helpful for us if we hear those short videos and read one verse of Bhagavad Gita every single day. So that it can really change our life. And it can really change the outlook of our vision of how we see the world. Right? And that will really change the world. So thank you very much for attending. And if any question we can discuss offline. Right? So thank you for attending the session. And you can come regularly. I can see some people are coming regularly. So if you find time whenever in the weekdays, in the weekends also you can come on Sunday. For the youth we have Festival of Enlightenment which happens every Saturday. And for married people, girls, we have it on Sunday evening. So, and morning also you can come in the Bhagavatam class. So like this ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada has created this platform where every single moment we can engage ourselves in Krishna consciousness and we can get benefited. So let's make a full use of it, utilize this opportunity